Hey there, my name's Jesse, and you're listening to the Deep Lore Boys podcast.
It's just a really old bird.
I think we've got an actual wizard on our hands.
This is a sad story.
So this was a listener request that we got a while ago, and I actually didn't see it until recently. It's for Coral Castle, which is the Florida Stonehenge. That's what it's been called. The claim is that these numerous large stones, each weighing several tons, sculpted into slab walls, tables, chairs, a crescent moon, a water fountain, and a sundial, was all built by one homeless man using reverse magnetism or levitation. And that's the claim.
So you're telling me a wizard built this castle?
I am telling you, an actual real-life wizard built the Florida Stonehenge. And if it was going to happen anywhere in the modern day, Florida would be the place, right?
Coral Castle. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, it looks pretty nice. I like it.
It really is.
Like, I just feel... Oh, dude, it's like a whole garden going on here.
Yeah.
Man.
This guy is a little bit weird. I'm seeing that he was 26 and was suddenly rejected by his 16-year-old fiance. And that was what prompted him to build this.
Yeah, I just read that too. I was like, oh man, this is so creative and cool.
Great.
Wait,
Wait, in Latvia, this was like 100 years ago. So I don't, approve of that in any way.
Okay. I thought this was in like the 90s or like 80s.
No, this was like 100 years ago.
Oh, so it's fine then. I mean,
this was,
that was when you got married.
Yeah. No, I mean, this was... At the time, this was much more socially acceptable.
But it's still a little weird because he's 10 years older than her.
I don't like that. It's not great.
So his name was Edward Leedskalin. I think I say that right. And yeah, he was rejected by a 16-year-old fiance one day before the wedding. He left for the United States after that and came down with terminal tuberculosis, but spontaneously healed. He credited magnets for healing him.
Of course.
I think it was because he was a wizard. He built a castle, which he named Ed's Place in Florida City. He decided to move and take the castle with him about 10 years later in 1936.
He moved the castle?
Yeah, he spent 3 years moving the components 10 miles north to its current location. So I don't know if he used the levitation magnetism to do that too, or
yeah.
what.
How did he pick
How
that
heavy
up?
were these things? Could he drive
They're
them?
giant blocks of like stone.
Well, we
or
don't know how he built
coral?
the castle in the first place.
Are they? Wait, is it made of coral? No, stone.
No, they're stones. They just look like coral. Is this guy actually a wizard? There's no explanation for how he built any of this stuff.
Here? This is a weird article. Where did this come from, dude?
This was a listener request, man.
This is a weird one. Yeah.
So he named his new place Rockgate, very creatively.
Okay.
He continued to work on the castle until he died in 1951. But while he was alive, he charged people 10 cents a piece to tour the castle grounds while he was building.
Hey.
But he would let people enter free if they had no money. So he was pretty chill.
Dude, it looks like... Yeah,
Wait. People asked him how he made the castle, and he would simply answer, "It's not difficult if you know how." What was he doing?
A few teenagers claim to have witnessed his work, reporting that he'd caused the blocks of coral to move like hydrogen balloons. The only advanced tool that he spoke of was using a perpetual motion holder. That doesn't... I don't know what that would even be.
Do you remember the guy that found the LA lizard tunnels and he was using the radio X-ray machine? This was back in like the 30s.
That's kind of the energy that gives me.
Same energy, yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look at the stone that he's carving this out of, maybe this is just what rocks look like in Florida. Those are like weird looking rocks.
Yeah.
Like they're distinctly weird.
It looks like coral. It looks like the dried coral in Minecraft when it gets all gray.
Yeah, it kind of does. I don't think it is. I think it's still just stone. I just don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. Commonly mistaken oolite. Okay, that's oolite. Oolitic limestone.
Yeah, so I've been looking into oolite. It's basically just sand. They're like, it's like less than 2 millimeters wide or something. So I looked that up. No, it's basically just sand.
So was he just carrying handfuls of sand up to the castle and like building a giant sand castle?
No, this was limestone. Oolitic limestone, right? So it's a sedimentary rock that's basically just going to be sand packed really, really, really hard in.
But that still doesn't explain how he moved them.
The stones are fastened together without mortar, set on top of each other, simply using their weight to keep them together. The craftsmanship detail is so fine, and the stones are connected with such precision that no light passes through the joints.
The largest stone weighs 30 short tons. There is an 8.2 ton revolving 8-foot gate, carved and balanced so well that a child could reportedly open it with the push of a finger. 8-ton gate. It was just balanced so well that you could move it that easy.
Yeah, I see that, dude. They put a big like railing around it though to keep people from doing it.
It lasted for decades. It stopped working in the 80s, and they needed 6 men and a 50 short ton crane to remove it and fix it.
Yeah, I was also thinking, like, what do they do when part of it breaks? Like,
it looks like it was on a bearing, and the bearing was rusty, an old truck bearing. It's like a ball bearing. It was rusty, and so they built a new one, put it back in, but apparently still it does not rotate as easily.
There's a 2-story castle tower that served as his living quarters, so he built a house. There's an accurate sundial, a polar telescope, obelisk, barbecue, water well, and fountain.
So this is not just Stonehenge with a bunch of, like, shapes. This is legit, like
Stone
a
Village.
castle.
Like, how did he build that?
Okay, so if you scroll down, it says Coral Castle remains a popular tourist attraction. Books, magazines, and TV programs have speculated about how he was able to construct the structure and move these giant stones. Coral Castle's website states that if anyone ever questioned Ed about how he moved the blocks of coral, Ed would only reply that he understood the laws of weight and leverage well. He also stated that he had discovered the secrets of the pyramids. Now I'm actually wondering if this guy did unlock levitation powers, because this is bizarre.
Hold on. He understood so he's not lying. He understood the laws of weight and leverage well and discovered the secrets of the pyramids, okay? So he's not... People were saying that he was using, like, levitation and stuff. It sounds like he just was like, yeah, so how did they build the pyramids? And he thought they would use like ropes and like those logs and tracks and stuff, and they'd like put it on sleds and stuff. And he was like, I bet I could do this.
But you still need so much manpower to do that.
Yeah, and like, did he use like roads? Did he use like, how far did he have to move this stuff?
It looks like he just understood the laws of weight and leverage well. I mean, that's...
This is an amazing thing. So what are all of these structures that are here though, besides just like the moons? Like the crescents?
I think he just built what he wanted.
Yeah, he built a whole castle. He built like an actual structure, many structures like that you could walk into. Whole village. He built 25 rocking chairs.
It just says entrance, and then a sign under that just says, you will be seeing unusual accomplishments. Like,
I did see that. Yeah.
Dang,
Dude,
that's an understatement right there.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. This is seriously impressive stuff.
One guy, there's no way he could do this by himself.
I don't even know, bro. I don't know. I'm trying to find it right now on Google Maps and see. They built like a whole park around it and everything. It looks like there's like a big... Don't tell me they just built a throughway going right next to it.
So Leedskillin, he became ill in November of 1951 and put a sign on the front door that said going to the hospital, so that like when tourists came, they'd be like, oh, guess he's in the hospital. So he went to the hospital in Miami, suffered a stroke, and died 28 days later at the age of 64. So then his property was investigated, and they found $41,000 in there. It was $3,500 back in the day, but in today's money, he had made his income from conducting tours, selling pamphlets about magnetism, and the sale of a portion of a 10-acre property. He had no will, and the castle became property of the closest living relative in the U.S., whose name was Harry. And I think Harry died too, and had no idea that he had a castle.
Wait, how did Harry not know? Did they not notify him?
They were just like, hey, your relative died. He's got some land in Florida. And Harry was like, oh, cool. And then died and never even visited.
Yeah, dude, this is really wacky. It looks like it just kind of changed hands multiple times.
I think we've got an actual wizard on our hands, boys. I know that we always like to say real until proven fake. And this has not been proven fake yet, so.
He just says he understands the laws of weight and leverage well, and he knows the secrets of the pyramids, which, I mean, they knew the laws of weight and leverage pretty well as well. So, like,
he implies that he's a wizard, I think. He's always so
Yeah.
mysterious about it, like, oh, well, it's easy if you understand.
Yeah, if you just knew. I think he's more implying that he's just really good at math. I think that he's.
But it's still, it's one guy. I mean, I
thing.
don't think it's possible to, I don't know. Hey, this is Editor Jesse coming to you live from my car. Sorry about the long wait between episodes lately. We've had a bit of a hiatus. There will be lots more content coming soon. In the meantime, to make up for the hiatus, at the end of this episode, if you stick around, you're going to hear a bunch of just out of context, goofy clips that never made it into other episodes, but I thought were funny enough to keep. Thanks for sticking with us. This podcast has an awesome fan base. We love you guys. Here's the rest of the episode.
We could actually segue into the really old albatross too that I posted. It's just a really old bird. That's about it.
So wait, tell me about this really old bird. What's his name? Wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah. So it's a
Who
female.
names a bird Wisdom? That's an
Oh, it's
old bird name. You don't name a young bird Wisdom.
Well,
they
let
named
me
this
tell
guy when
ya.
he was old.
Let me
bet.
tell you this. Well, this is a girl bird. This is a woman.
Oh,
bird.
my
And
mistake.
let me tell
I'm
you,
sorry.
this bird hatched back in 1951, and
Shoot.
she's still kicking.
That is an old bird.
In the Bible in Proverbs, when it says like wisdom, she cries at the gates. Is that is this the bird? Is this
That's it. This is it right here. This
is that
the
a
bird
Proverbs reference?
from King Solomon's hit classic Proverbs? So this is, I believe, the oldest known bird in the world. And if you look at her, like, I was expecting this bird to look like really raggedy and old and nasty, but she's really not. Like,
No, she's a good bird.
She looks like any other bird. But yeah, they first tagged her back in the 50s.
Man, she has been living longer than most people. Born in
Yeah.
1951? She's
Yeah.
like 73.
This is the oldest known bird. So
But how long do they normally live?
they usually live to be around 50, if not older. So
Oh, man.
there are birds that live to be a really long time. Like, I remember we had friends who had a bird. She was like, I think over 40 when she died just a couple years ago.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
like, she could speak so much and say so much. She was basically just like a member of the family and had been for forever. Like, she was fantastic.
Apparently she's still mothered chicks in at least 2011.
Yeah, it sounds like she was incubating another egg, and then that egg hatched in 2021.
She has flown, according to the USGS that's tracked her, she's flown over 3 million miles since 1956.
Whoa,
That
dude.
is 120 times the circumference of the Earth.
Wow.
That's some crazy, dude.
They've replaced her tag 6 times.
It's crazy to me that she's a bird that still lives in the wild. Like, most of these super old animals are like people's pets or something, and she's just a wild animal that just has
Yeah.
been tagged by researchers, and they just keep seeing her come back over and over again.
So I decided to research oldest animals, and apparently the oldest one so far is an ocean quahog, which
Oh,
I'm guessing
what?
it's like a clam,
Quahog?
basically. Quahog.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say that. 507 years old when discovered in 2006. Her name was Ming after the Ming Dynasty, which was still in power while she was born.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. that's an
Although,
old
unfortunately, Ming died in 2006.
No!
Off the
How?
coast of Iceland? How is
How did it die?
apparently it was dredged. So I guess she drowned basically, but she drowned like in air.
So you're telling
My
me these
guess.
people just basically chose to kill this 500-year-old clam?
I don't think they knew, like I think they found it and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this clam is
And that's terrible.
Dude, I would feel so bad if I killed a 500-year-old clam. Like, I wouldn't get
Like
over
it
that.
came so far only for
Yeah.
you to just end it like that.
Well, okay, if we're just talking oldest animals, you can go to like coral or like sponges or something. They still fall under the animal kingdom. If we're talking just like dumb things like that, there are sponges that can live to be well over 10,000 years old. I mean, SpongeBob, old guy. Okay, like
Yeah.
old. Like, they can live to be pretty old. And even Greenland sharks, which are, they're vertebrates, they're proper sharks, they're big boys. There are some on record as being over 500 years old, and they look it too. Like, if you look
Oh,
They
at
just
a
look
no.
old.
shark,
They-
no,
Dude.
guys. I'm researching more about Ming. This is a sad story.
Jackson,
What happened to this clam?
you are
Don't tell me that someone ate the clam.
No,
dude, you are
no.
you're investing way too much emotionally into this clam. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Man, so
I don't think
okay,
you can get any more hurt than the clam.
they fished it up off the coast of Iceland, and they were like, "Oh, look, that has a lot of rings on it." So they calculated it to be between 405 and 410 years old. The problem is that when a clam is that old, they're so small, it's very hard to like read all of the rings. So they took it to scientists, and scientists decided that the only way they could tell this was to open the shell.
No.
And they thought the clam was going to live through them opening the shell, and it didn't.
No.
It didn't. That's
Apparently,
what
they accidentally killed it.
So it didn't even die from the dredging. Some scientist was like, "We gotta find out." Dude, what is the law? It's like whatever you observe, you also change. Like it's something like quantum mechanics or whatever. That's literally what that is. Is like by learning that it's the oldest clam, you must no longer make it the oldest animal.
I feel like they just should have kept Ming alive and then opened it up like a time capsule when she was finally gone.
That's crazy. Jackson, can you spend the rest of the episode progressively learning more and more sad details about Ming? Just like randomly in the middle of whatever we're talking about next. Just be like, guys, more Ming lore.
People also search for the 52 hertz whale.
Oh, dude, that's a sad topic. Dude, that's like...
Are we just going to go into all these sad animal topics today?
Yeah, if you want to hear it, that is even
this.
sadder than the clam because clams don't have brains. So, like, it can't feel sad. Like, I'm sad for the clam. The 52 hertz whale is a real animal. It's believed to be probably a blue whale or a fin whale. So basically this whale's call is too high pitched, and so it can't, the other whales, they're like geared to be listening to lower frequencies, so they can't hear it. So the whale swims around the ocean calling for other whales, and they don't know that it's there. So it's been alone for like basically its entire life. And we can find recordings of it because you can hear whales for miles and miles, but we've never been able to actually find it.
Oh, man.
But like we know that it's around, but we can't actually pinpoint where it is before it's gone again. And like it disappears and then comes back. It was first found in the 80s. And it continues. It's just a lonely whale.
Other people have speculated that the whale is just deaf.
Like, it's just so sad to me.
Goblin Valley State Park is in the United States. It's in Utah. I'll put a picture up on screen. It's one of those places that's like straight out of Cars, where you've got just like weird red canyons and little rocks everywhere. Yeah, Tatooine is actually a more accurate.
Yeah, these rocks are shaped like mushrooms. It's
really cool. The main reason that I bring up Goblin Valley State Park is not just because it's cool. It is cool, but the section of the Wikipedia that caught my eye was 2013 vandalism. Basically, in October of 2013, there were some Boy Scouts hanging out in Goblin Valley.
Guys, what happened to leave no trace behind? This is not difficult. Dude, okay, that's all I'm saying.
They left a trace.
They left not difficult, guys.
They left a goblin?
They were attacked by a band of cave goblins. No, that's not true. They did something worse. So there was this giant, what's called a hoodoo. Okay, it's one of these rocks, one of these like mushroom rock guys that's really tall. It's been standing there for like eons, just chilling. And some of the Boy Scout leaders, two grown men, just decided to push it over. They decided it was a danger to people that could walk through the area in the future, and so they pushed it over, which I think is really just code for guy brain.
Yeah, because big rock. I can sympathize with that, but not when it looks as cool as this and you're in Goblin Valley. They were arrested on felony charges?
Yeah, they got in big trouble for this.
Yeah, dude, criminal mischief. Intentionally damaging, defacing, and destroying property.
They were dismissed from the Boy Scouts in Utah.
Dude.
This thing in no way poses a danger to people around it. There's no. This thing.
Wait, do you have a picture of it?
No, I'm watching the video of them destroying it because they took a video of it.
Can you send me that? Because I didn't look it up, but there is a video.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was like at like the top of a cliff that was like there was a path going under it. it's not. The path literally just goes right around it. They go out of their way to push this thing over, and it's not even like no. And they're smiling the entire time. Like they knew
Oh my
exactly.
goodness. When they said Boy Scout leaders, I imagined like the badges and the uniform and stuff. This looks like your Uncle Bub
Yeah.
who lives across the street and sits on his porch drinking Miller Lite.
These guys do not look very bright at all.
The guy does a little happy dance. They high five and do a little dance after he pushes it over. And you know what? I think I spread misinformation because I said that there were Boy Scouts with them. This is just 3 guys out in the desert. Like they don't have any kids with them. They are just
They're
in their
just-
like normal clothes.
I can sympathize with it as a dude. I can get it, but at the same time, like
yes, but
you
at the
have to
same
be able to
time-
look at this and realize like how are you here and you're just blissfully unaware that these rocks are older than anything you've ever known.
Anyone who's going to the park knows that the advantage of going to the park is these rocks.
Yeah, is to see
Like-
these. Like this is why you're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be there.
not the same as like
So-
moving a rock in the Adirondack Mountains. Honestly, though, this was in 2014. This was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But like, there is an increasing amount of people who just vandalize and destroy things that did not need to be.
Oh yeah. That's
If you see a big rock that's really cool, chances are other people think that big rock is cool. So don't destroy that big cool rock. When we released our face reveal a couple episodes ago, I put out a poll on Spotify asking which one of us was the most handsome, and the only reply we got was somebody, I don't even remember what their username was. They just said, I'm not gonna lie, Matthew is the sexiest of them all.
dude, I did it.
So,
all right, I win.
I agree.
Whoa, what? wait,
Actually,
wait,
whoa,
I can't say-
wait,
I can't say
Jackson's into rats.
Wait, dude, hold up. I'm kind of
Wait,
scared now.
hold on. Just because I'm saying Matthew is like the most attractive does not mean that like I'm simply saying that like I am like attracted to him.
Wait,
I'm just
wait,
simply
wait,
saying-
Yeah, but like you don't think I'm the most attractive?
I mean, I feel like if I did, Maddie would get mad. Like if I was to say like, "Oh yeah, you're attractive."
Jackson,
like,
you're
I
gonna
mean-
have to cut all of this out of the podcast because
Yeah,
I
I
don't trust
definitely
the
agree.
average YouTube user.
Oh, wait,
booby.
wait a second. That was Austin Kane.
Oh, was that?
Oh.
That was him. Shout out to Austin. He's in our Discord. What a guy.
I'm not gonna lie, you said that like right at the wrong time. I was eating a thing of popcorn, and I like choked on that really bad.
Dude,
that
what
like
if Austin
almost
Kane's Spotify comment had led to your death?
that narrowly just did, dude. We watched Black Adam. I don't think it was the day that it came out. I don't think we were free then.
No, yeah, it was close though.
We watched it as soon as we could because like a month prior to it,
I forgot
had
about
a
this.
dream. Right, it wasn't just like a thing that we did because we were actually interested in the movie. Like it was, I had a dream where I was walking my dog, and I turned the corner of my apartment, and Dwayne Johnson was standing right there. And he looks at me and he just goes, "It's about drive. It's about power. Don't miss Black Adam in theaters October 21st." And I woke up in like a cold sweat. Like I woke up,
forgot
and
about
hopped
that.
down, get out of bed, get to my computer. I sit down, I Google Black Adam release date. And there it is, October 21st. I was like, this needs
It
to be
was
done.
crazy.
Like, this has to happen. Like, yes, sir. And so I got everyone together. I was like, guys, we got to watch this movie. And so I watched it. And, I mean, it changed me as a person. It was a pivotal moment in human history. It was without Black Adam. I don't know what I would have done.
Obviously, I was happy to be out with you guys, but I was really, really mad when we went to see that movie because the Bills had already like trashed their home opener against the Steelers. Then they had lost to the Patriots and the Dolphins, and then they proceeded to lose again to the Jets. And I was like,
Yeah, I
guys,
remember you talking. I remember you being like angry about that. And I was like, dude, but you don't got to think about this. All you got to think about is Black Adam right now. Like this is all you need to focus on.
I was just mad that we went to freaking Denny's. Anyway, this has nothing to do. This has nothing
was
to
that
do.
the-
with-
Was that the same time that you tried to order like the 65 scrambled eggs or whatever? Because like it was.
The what?
Yeah, I remember they had like an option on the menu that said like 65 plus eggs, and it was for like
Oh, yeah.
elderly people. And you like saw it and thought that it meant like you can just get an order of 65 eggs. Just
Man, I was
Dude,
disappointed.
I remember that whole day never forgotten.
Shout out to the old days when Satan didn't have to look scary. Like nowadays, if you
Yeah.
create a monster for a movie or something, it's got to be this like
horrifying.
wreathed in
It's gotta be-
shadow Balrog-esque creature.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he just had to be like a spooky
guy.
looking little furry guy,
Yeah,
and
you know,
that was like cosmic horror.
You know, it was terrifying enough to just have a little guy with pointy ears, and that was like, you know, horrific. In Europe, it's like, oh man, you better be good or else some little gnome is going to come by and steal your shoes. And then in America, it's just like, the skinwalker ate my family. It ate my dog. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
dude, like what happened? like, today we're talking about bees, everybody. We have...
If you go to the bee Wikipedia,
about bees, did you know that it's scientifically impossible for a bee to fly?
Did you know that the reason bees don't fly in the rain is because they use sunlight to navigate?
True.
Mm-hmm.
So I
You
do know that
the
a turkey
reason-
will drown if it looks up in the rain. That is like a true fact.
A turkey will drown?
If it looks up in the rain, yeah.
That's
Did you know that
terrifying.
you can drown if you stay underwater for too long?
No, wait. According to Snopes, this is not true. Turkeys do not drown. when
Wow,
they
dude,
look
you're
up in the rain.
spreading misinformation. Okay.
Yeah, apparently I
Jackson,
am.
in
This is, like,
episode
absolute
1
crap
Doug
of
time.
season 3?
immediately opens with a blatant lie.
With
Okay.
turkey propaganda.
All right, I won't go into the infinite egg glitch. That's a bad video.
I showed you that, didn't I?
Yeah,
egg
I remember you showing me that video. Jesse, if you want to see something absolutely just repugnant, look up infinite egg glitch.
I'm gonna do that. As soon as
I don't know if you want to watch that. Actually, it's not for the faint.
I don't know who to believe here.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Oh, yep. What is?
The infinite egg glitch.
All right, here I go. I'm watching this.
Raise your nose.
Oh no!
All right, I feel like if we're gonna put this in the episode, we cannot just have you guys laughing without any of it. It has to be with the egg video.
Oh yeah, we'll
Like,
put it. Dude, that's so wretched, man. That's like.
All right. Back to that.
Oh, it's the sound. I wanted to bring this up earlier, but it was so off topic. I visited this church with my fiance and a couple of our friends who were visiting, and we had never been there before. And the pastor, midway through the sermon, I don't even remember how he got here, but he started talking about various national monuments, and he spent like 10 minutes just geeking over the Lincoln Memorial, like giving us all the stats, how big it is. At one point, he just said, if that statue ever stands up, it would be like over 20 feet tall.
Yo.
And just spoke about it as if like one day, guys, it could stand up.
One day Lincoln gonna get up and walk away. Did you see the statue of Abraham Lincoln that was made out of wax in DC? Did you see what happened?
Oh, the one
to
that melted?
Yeah.
I did not see that, no.
Wait, what do you mean you didn't see it? That how did you know it
Well,
melted?
I've heard of it. I read about it in the news, but I didn't see
okay.
it. I Googled wax Abraham and got nothing.
There you go. I sent something over.
You sent it
He
over? Where
that's
is it?
supposed to look like Abe Lincoln as he is in the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, no.
It was so
Oh.
sad. Like
Abe.
Like he literally, it started with his head, like everything started to droop, and then his head started rolling back, and then just fell off one day. And they're
This
like,
is what
"No."
TikTok brain rot does to you.
This is
Look what Abraham Lincoln is doing. It feels like Abe Lincoln, just for a moment, he came back from the afterlife, haunted this statue just to check in on America.
his soul left
Melt.
his body, and the body melted away. Like it just, that's all that it took. Dude, my favorite thing with UFOs, I gotta just talk about this for a second, is how as like culture kind of shifts over the years, the style of UFOs changes with them. So like I know that like when we went through like historical UFO sightings, there were reports of like flying ships with like sails going through the sky and stuff. And like people were bringing that up, and there were all sorts of like old wacky stuff like that. And then we hit a point where like they were like weird looking rockets and stuff. And then in the 50s, we got those flying saucers, and now they're just like weird shapes that people come up with. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny to me how UFOs, by and large, kind of change shape over the years.
Well, actually, one of the very first UFO sightings ever, the Kenneth Arnold UFO sighting, he was a pilot and he was flying and he saw a string of 9 UFOs like following him or flying beside him at like a super fast rate, and they maneuvered in ways that our technology shouldn't. He said, he did not say that they looked like flying discs, like flying saucers. He said that it was like you threw a saucer and it was kind of gliding and that's how it flew. But people heard, flying saucer, and then all of the sightings after that were of saucer-shaped craft. But he never claimed that that's what they looked like.
What did he say they looked like?
I think he said they looked like curved, almost like batarangs, but I'm on the Wikipedia now because I don't want to spread misinformation on the web. Hey again, it's Jesse. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Deep Lore Boys podcast. If you did, leave a like, leave a review, subscribe for more episodes, share it with a friend, you know the stuff. Thanks for listening, and I hope your day is nothing short of interesting. Take care.
I'm going to go post that one on twitter.com.